Sorry you showed up late. You know I should have called. You know you could have stayed. Now I'm here all alone. Finally getting out of the shape I'm in. I wouldn't lie to you, girl, not again. You know it's hard to say what's been going on, and it's been this way for way too long. Finally see light on the way it's been. I wouldn't lie to you, girl, not again. Ain't no Casanova, can't sweep you off your feet. Looking for a Romeo, baby, that ain't me. I may not be the guy to give you everything you need. I wouldn't lie to you, girl, not again. Come along, long way.
Hello and welcome to the Nonsense Chronicles. This is Doug Sashery, and as always, I am joined by
Rob Mendiola.
Greetings, Rob.
Greetings, Doug.
We were lazy recently, and
Were we? Maybe you were.
I think some podcasts will take weeks off. We have only taken 1 week
Yeah,
off
we've
in
missed
3+
1 week.
years.
Yeah.
So sometimes we stretch it out, and then we wait till. Usually, we like to have 3, 4, 5, 6 episodes, whatever we can put in the tank. But sometimes we get really thin. So we have to get back to work this week and
Yeah, I agree.
get some done. But today,
What you got today?
we're talking to Mr. Dustin Perkins. How you doing today, buddy?
Better than I deserve by a pretty long shot.
That's good, man. How's the world of country music treating you?
Man, it's been a whirlwind this last month or so. We were in I was in the Larry Joe Taylor songwriting competition, and out of 200 submissions, I ended up in second place, and so that was a wild ride.
That's pretty damn
And then
good.
we just ended up doing a show in our hometown for the first time in I think 10 years, and set a new attendance record at Calhoun's 2.0 this last weekend. So I'm definitely on a high right now.
That's good, and I did notice that and Rob read the bio thing from me, but I didn't see that. But it did look like you played and then you performed and you took a break and then you came back. So tell us a little bit about that, I guess.
Man, the break was just life circumstances. At the time, it was probably 10 or 12 years ago. I was married to a woman from southeast Oklahoma up here, and her daddy died of a massive heart attack, and she inherited 260 acres and 66 shorthorn cattle and a bunch of stuff to take care of, and there wasn't really nobody around to take care of it other than me.
That's a lot of work.
And so
It is a lot of work. Sometimes life calls, man.
that was so it. At that point, I had just finished something that I was probably most proud of in my career. At that point, I did a deal called the Bag of Bones tour. I left Dallas, Texas, with $100 and a tank full of gas, and I just headed west without a show booked, and I just found places to play for tips. I talked my way into playing restaurants and bars all the way out there. But long story short, I made it 6,500 miles in 45 days.
Wow.
Damn. Nice job, man.
Playing for tips. And I just come off that tour. So I was, again, on this big high, and then life happened, man. And then I spent probably the better part of 10 years really up there taking care of that place and learning more about myself. That ended up in a divorce and a big mess and a bunch of other stuff, but it made a bunch of good tunes.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. That always creates good songs, man.
That's all country music. Huh?
That's right. That all creates good songs. Yeah, I was perusing through your catalog, and look, I got to ask you this. It's going to be, it's going to be. I got other stuff I want to discuss first, but it's killing me. I know on the way up, I was listening to a bunch of music, and there was like a song that was a duet, but I couldn't remember who. I couldn't find the song in. Do you have a duet with somebody out there?
It's not really a duet. I've got several songs was it a woman singer?
Okay, it was a woman singer, but yeah, basically, and it wasn't Mama.
Okay,
it wasn't Mama Perkins.
No, Mama Perkins. She's on some of the first records, but you're probably talking about Shaniqua Williams. She sang on a bunch of my records. She's out of Dallas.
Yeah, it just sounded really, really good, man. It was one song in particular that I just really loved, and I couldn't find it again. I was like, God dang it! But whatever it was. I was listening. It was on Spotify, and it was screening somebody else's name, and I was like, who is that? And I'm pretty sure it had to be, and I couldn't remember the name of the song. I'm a sucker for.
You got to screenshot that, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm a sucker for harmonies and stuff like that. Just like Rob's a sucker for he's a sucker for female fronted bands. But,
Well, yeah, I do have. I like certain male singers, but it has to be like good stuff.
yeah, I know that. But yeah,
man.
I love like the Eagles and all that. Anybody that does great harmonies, I just love.
Like I was listening to your long time track, and that reminds me of
Yes.
that reminds me of Billy Gibbons, ZZ Top style.
That was really
and-
good.
Man, that's a huge compliment.
It really sounded good, and that kind of vocal makes me feel like, back at home kind of thing, because that's what I grew up on, So
I'm kind of curious.
Man,
Go ahead.
there's definitely a lot of soul influence. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so some of that southern rock and
that kind of reminded me of
I grew up.
Brown Sugar. What is that? I get back to baby or something like that.
Yeah, like Rolling Stones. You talking about?
No, ZZ Top, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Old school ZZ Top.
Way cool.
Some of the bluesier stuff,
Oh yeah, and I
Yes,
love
sir.
all that. That's why we like Scotty love all his stuff because I love that. I
But
love
then-
that mix, man.
But then you go to guys like Lou Graham, and stuff like that from Foreigner,
yeah. No, I gotta ask you.
I'm a Foreigner fan.
Yeah, so
You gotta be, man. What about have you done any work with Nomad Studios in Dallas?
No, I haven't. I haven't done any dealings with them yet.
No, I was curious because I saw Gary Long on somebody who followed your music. I was like, I wonder if he's worked with Gary. Yes.
are you playing guitar on any of these?
Man, I play rhythm guitar on
Okay.
all of those. Colton Gilbert did most of what you're hearing on that stuff. We've had different guitar players through the years, in the studio. Some of those albums were cut by studio guys.
Mm-hmm.
And so Steve Ryan out of Dallas, he plays on a couple records of mine. Another Mark Lettieri's on the first record I've recorded. So yeah, it's a mix of all kinds of guys. Brian Kelly played on a couple songs, but most of that work is a guy named Colton Gilbert out of Fannin County up here.
Go ahead, man. So how did music all start for you, man?
Man, I grew up immersed in it. My grandpa and my uncles played on a riverboat in Illinois.
Wow.
Growing up, and my grandpa was always he didn't really do much with it when I knew him, other than just pick on the back porch. But every Saturday night we would gather up at my grandpa's house, and my mom, and my aunts, and my uncles, and everybody had guitars in their hands, and we'd sing all night. It was
That's cool.
it was a awesome way to grow up.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
nice.
And Uncle Keith was a awesome pianist as well, but it was like the old saloon style where he just beat on it more than he played, But
That's good stuff.
he was so good. It was so moving and inspiring to be around people like that.
Yeah, that's really
They play from the soul.
Yeah, well, that's
Oh man, yeah.
there's some families that I know like that, and I don't know too many like that, where it's been through generations. But there's a couple that I know that they're musicians and they have families, you know. And I'm like, God, it's really cool, because you don't see that many people in that line doing that, so that's pretty cool. Usually there's some.
Yeah,
No, I'm just going to say usually there's one member at least of the family that may influence you to music, but usually not seeing that many in the family, and that it really is cool.
it was wild. I grew up like that, but when I really got into it, one summer we went up to visit my cousin, and he was playing rock and roll music in the garage with his buddy smoking cigarettes, and that was way cooler than Merle Haggard on the back porch.
That is nice, man.
And so that summer I came home. I had a broke hand, but I found some work that I could do, mowing yards and whatnot, and bought a little electric guitar, and that's really where it all started. But like I said, I was immersed in it as a kid.
Good deal, man. And how easy or how hard was it, I guess, to get back started into music once you had taken that break and you came back?
Man, it was like riding a bike. It just
It's in your
it just
DNA,
fell right
man.
back in place. Man,
That's good, you know, man. It's hard, you know, a lot of guys that we know and we've talked to. It's hard, man, for, you know, anybody that expects a shift in that person that's been doing this forever. Like, you know, if you're in a relationship or something, don't expect that person that's touring or whatever to want to change, because I mean, that's who they are, man. They've been
Yeah.
doing it for so damn long, and yeah, it's a shift. And
yeah, music's been part of my life longer than anything else. 22 years. I don't have any other than my parents and my family. Nothing else in my life has been around for 22 years.
Yeah, I know that feeling, man. Yeah, it's definitely it's a staple for a lot of people, you know, and it's a comfort, and
It's also something that nobody can take from you, you know?
no.
That's the way I see
Yeah.
it.
Well, it's like the guys.
And man, I truly look at it as a gift from God,
Yeah.
and it's not my responsibility to hoard it. It's my responsibility to share it. He
Absolutely.
gave me that gift to go use it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I see, you know, some weird habits I see of guys that travel, and it's we've had beds and stuff available sometimes, but guys that would stay on the bus would stay in that bus because they liked that, what I call a coffin, is, you know, like the bunks.
Yeah, the little bunks.
Yeah, like, and then this bunk thing had like 12, and you could maybe get like, you know, 5 or 6 people that would come and slide. But man, some people, they're just used to that little.
They like that hum of the generator,
I guess that little
them to
space.
sleep.
That's their comfort zone, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's
the whole vibration
that's
of the
really
bus.
weird, but you can't change it. That's what it is, you know. So
Yeah, imagine.
I'm
Get your-
usually sleeping in the back seat of a van with Brady driving for me. So
Yeah.
yeah, I know that feeling. I've seen that too. I've seen
Making it
plenty of that.
happen.
Yeah, I got yeah, Brady's a good guy, man. He had reached out to us, and him and my wife have been friends for a long time. And I probably met him a few years ago. He's a good guy.
man, he's been wonderful for us. He works his butt off for me, man. I ain't got nothing but good to say about Brady.
Heck yeah, man. Now, what? Let me ask you this: you're doing the extensive tour, and y'all doing a lot of what, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday runs?
Yeah, man, and I've got quite a bit of Tuesday and Wednesday acoustic stuff here and there, man.
That's a
on
smart
and off.
move. Yeah, it's a smart move, man. I see a lot of guys doing that. You know, we have a friend that
You should check out the Wildcatter Saloon in Katy, Texas.
yeah,
They really dig that
Okay.
kind of acoustic stuff.
yeah, and
Man, I do a lot of acoustic stuff.
And they've had some pretty good country artists out there
yeah,
as
Yeah, I'll
well.
have to check that out.
yeah. We need to. I know somebody.
Justin Whitfield, maybe you can send Justin his info.
Yeah,
That'd be cool to connect.
Man, that'd be great, guys. I appreciate that.
yeah, man. That's And are you you're promoting all your you're promoting your music as Dustin Perkins Music? Is that right? Is that your Instagram, I believe?
That's our Instagram is Dustin Perkins Music. Yes.
Yeah, y'all do a pretty good job of keeping that up to date, man. That's so important for musicians these days.
Man, it is tough too. It's a full-time job,
Yeah.
really. It's
For sure.
there's a lot of work involved, and it's not just me. I've got a really good team behind me right now, man. I got a bass player that's been booking shows for me for years. He's still booking shows, but we've also just signed with Eight Squared Booking, so we kind of got the best of both worlds there. And then I've got Chris Romaine up at Split Window Studio in Denison, does so much for us, man. He really believes in the project, and I can't say enough about how much he's done for us as well. It's just it takes a team, man, and a village to do all this, and I'm grateful for the one I got assembled right now. I know that.
Yeah, it used to be where guys would go out and, whether it was a promoter in another town or it was the musicians themselves, they'd go out and paper everything. But now, that's gone, man. Everything's social media now.
Well, that's so funny you said that. That last show that we did at our hometown, I went all out like we used to. I did all the hand
cool.
flyers. We went and hit Texoma Parkway last Thursday and flyered every car on the whole parkway.
Nice.
It was good.
And then we put out road signs at every major intersection in 2 counties around there.
Wow, man, that's.
And,
I remember we used to collect those as kids and put them on our walls,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
All the
man! People
shows.
brought them to the show and wanted us to sign them
Yeah.
and stuff. It was awesome, dude.
That
It
is
was so
cool.
nostalgic.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
should definitely bring that back.
I framed a bunch of them, and now I had, but by the time it whittled down to me and settling down a little bit, I had too many frames, but I'm glad I framed the ones I did. Yeah. And I'm glad I framed the ones I did, and
Oh, those are treasures, man.
Yeah.
yeah, they are. And but at the time I never thought, I just wanted some music on my wall, but I never thought that it would end though. I never thought that aspect, but boy, when it ended, boom,
You felt it.
It was gone. It
Yeah.
was gone immediately, and yeah. So yeah, if I don't think a lot of bands get the fact, bands that are coming up, how important that social media is. I think a lot of them do. A lot of young kids do, but man, there's a disconnect on the bands that used to paper, and now they're in. I see some of them that are in this age now. Man, that social media is so damn important, man. You have got that,
Man, and it's ever evolving. It never quits
Yeah.
changing.
Exactly.
You always got to do something different or something more, and it's
Right.
it's a lot to keep up with, man.
Yeah, it is, and and having more than one person on that is a great thing. Teaming up and hitting different aspects is a really good thing. Keeping your events up, and then of course all the other stuff. People have chats. They'll do acoustic session or something like that. It's important to stay in touch with your fans like that, and that's the way you'll get seen and heard.
Absolutely. It's more important than playing live shows, and I hate to say that, but it really is.
Well, it is.
You make real fans at live shows, but you're not going to gain any ground if you're not doing social media with it.
No, because I mean, it's not like it's not like the old days where you'd have somebody, they would go out to see talent scouts. It's not like that anymore, man. Let me see what I can find on YouTube.
Let's see how many clicks they have.
On social media.
how
That's
many
it.
followers.
One thing or another is gonna drag them in, and it's gonna be through either YouTube or social media.
Yeah. They want to see how many followers you have, and that's
yeah.
really what it is.
Or they'll see a video somewhere, something will go viral. One thing will catch that never caught before. That's Rick Monroe and the Hitmen in Nashville. They do. I work with some different artists, and their numbers are not as strong as far as followers, but they do some of the best social media I've ever seen, and that's how they'll grow it. And
Just being persistent.
Yeah, and coming up, with unique stuff too, man. It's
Yes.
important. It's something a little bit funny, maybe sometimes, but don't be always funny. But it gives a good eye for, and it gets people looking to what's next. What's next?
So what is
Yeah.
your latest release, and what's it about?
All right, my latest release is called "Lie to You." I co-wrote that song with a buddy of mine up here, Chance Cody. He used to have a band called Spur 503. And they were kind of the guys that drugged me into this, into the actual music business. They used to drag me around when I was 15 and let me open for them everywhere.
I'll be damned, man.
And
Yeah.
so I co-wrote this song, the latest one, "Lie to You," with him. And the lyric is, "I wouldn't lie to you, girl, not again." So
That's a good one.
like I mean, I'm done lying now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of, so it's the first line's like, "Sorry, I showed up late. I should have called,
Yeah.
but I won't lie to you again." You know, that's
yeah.
kind of the
Until you catch me again, anyway.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I heard that one coming in. Yeah,
That's a good one.
that's good, man. Yeah. Any big plans coming? Any festival runs this year or anything like that?
man. We're shooting for the stars, you know, and I'm hoping to get on some festivals by next year. We're just now really getting back at it. Another thing I'm excited about is like this Conroe date and the Redbird Listening Room in New Braunfels. Both of those are listening rooms,
Oh, cool.
and man, I've grown to love those acoustic listening rooms.
Yeah.
And where I get a chance to actually tell the story behind my songs.
Yeah, people love that, man.
And yeah, it's easy to convey the emotion. Easier for me. It's more like sitting around a campfire, and that's kind of where I cut my teeth, you know.
Yeah, that's a smart movie. Now I saw
When you're good at it, it's good. You know, some people aren't good at that. You know,
well, you know,
it's the storytelling stuff like that.
yeah,
so.
Yes.
Scotty Austin, who's fronted Saving Abel, and he's out on his own solo tour. He started last year at the end. I think it was this year. He started running. It might have been late last year, but he started doing a acoustic show with two other artists, and like he'll bring one or two guys from his band, and somebody else. Maybe he'll bring somebody else, or they'll just come solo, and they'll play. They'll take turns, and they'll do one of their songs.
It's like
but the other guys will join in. They'll join in on his song, and then they'll join in like they did with Danny Boone with Rehab. They did sitting at a bar. They'll do that together.
Well, Scott Bartlett's been doing that too, I think.
Yeah, and then he also went with what's his name, Peter, the guy who took over on piano for Leonard Skinner. And I can't remember his name, Peter Keys.
Oh yeah,
and he just did a show with him and Peter Dante, which is, of course, you know, from the Adam Sandler movies. Yeah.
People love that stuff,
man. And it was really cool. I'd never seen anything. It reminded me of an old like country storytellers thing where they would get together and do that. And I thought that was a really
and
good
I haven't
concept.
heard of that place in Conroe, the Table. I haven't heard of that place. Have you?
I think
the Table at Madley or something like that.
Yeah.
Madeley.
I think it might be on the square, but I'm not positive. I might have been to it, but
I might have to look it up.
Now, Conroe has a very nice. They've redone their downtown,
like their little center.
Yeah, they've redone their downtown, like a lot of towns talk about doing, but never actually do.
Yeah,
they actually did. So around their courthouse, it's a quaint little country town.
Yeah,
they have a very nice set of shops and like pubs where people can go and listen to music, or little restaurants, so it's nice. But
yes, man.
Yeah, we'll definitely. I have to always check and see. Will I actually be in town? But whether I'm in town or not, what I told you earlier stands. Yeah. In fact, I have friends of mine that, they know whether I'm in town or not. That doesn't matter. You just go ahead. I travel a lot too, So, but
yeah, man.
It's all part of the world. But is there anything else that we can promote that you want to give us out your socials? So we can spread the news.
Man, the easiest way to find everything is thedustinperkins.com, and it's got the map to it all. But we've got you can get to our Facebook or YouTube or X or Instagram, everything from there, Spotify. So thedustinperkins.com, the central location for it all.
Cool. We'll put that on the
thedustinperkins.com. Yeah, we'll do that, man. And Dustin, thanks so much for joining us today, man. And keep up that push going, man. Don't let that dream die.
And enjoy the game today.
We're full bore at it this time, and I really feel like it's so much different this go round. We're older. We're all so much more mature. We've done so many things the wrong way that
we learned,
really
man.
Trying to around.
Yeah, we learned. It's like Thomas Edison found 44 or whatever the different ways that to not do something, but he found the one way that mattered, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what
That's
matters.
it, man.
That's what matters,
Just
you
keep
know?
on trucking.
That's what you call by getting older, man. That's what life is about. But,
Yes, sir.
we want to thank everybody for joining us on the Nonsense Chronicles. Please go to the DustinPerkinsMusic.com and you will find
The good stuff.
Yeah, you'll find all his account. You find where you can get all his music at and all his social, and give him a follow and a like. And please
Catch a live show.
Yeah, definitely go see live music.
Yes, man, that'd be great. Hey, thank
Yeah.
y'all for the opportunity today too. I appreciate it, guys.
Thanks for your time, man.
You're always welcome. And this is the Nonsense Chronicles, and we are out of here.
Later.